collaboration, the positives and the negatives, and how did that inform your creation of Dead by Wednesday?
Well, I wanted the band to be more of a band where we all work together. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. You know, those sayings, too many cooks spoil the soup. That kind of rings true with that band, because it started off with me and Chris and I, and then Pat came in. But really, Chris and I were the foundation that first got together. And that's why we always said, he came up with Soul Man. I didn't like that. I wanted Gargantua, and he said, okay, we'll just put it together, Gargantua Soul, G Soul. It was great. Then we all, let's do team colors, because no bands are doing that. Let's do orange and blue, like their contrast colors. You know, I was going to art school at the time, and so I'm like, okay. So we had team colors, orange and blue. It was just a different thing, and that's how it started, and more of a partnership. And then it got diluted, and there was a lot of stuff going on. You're really distracting, man.
What's going on, buddy?
And so basically, it got to that point where it got watered down, and there was too many opinions, and what happened was we sort of imploded from the inside out. It got so big, and then, you know, people were A&R people from like Atlantic, or even I had the head of Universal, Avery Littman, literally call me on the phone himself. The guy who signed Godsmack, who signed, you know, all the biggest bands you can think of in Universal, called me on my cell phone. I was like, I didn't know what to say to the guy. I really didn't. He's like, what's up with this band G Soul? And I'm like, and I wish I had a pitch ready to go at that time, because what I said probably didn't do it. He still had me come in and talk to his A&R guy at the time, but it didn't pan out, unfortunately. But that's also in the book. But what I would say is that inspired the first album of Dead by Wednesday, which is entitled Democracy is Dead. Now these guys turned it into a political album. Democracy is Dead for me was basically saying, democracy is over in this business venture. I'm going to do this my way, the way I've always wanted to do it, and I'm doing it, you know, now. And that's why I did it that way. And so it had two meanings. The meaning for me was democracy is dead within the group setting. I'm gonna write the album. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna do what I can. And if people want to kind of join in and follow along, cool. Now it's not like that anymore. Now we are democracy again, and it works because everyone respects each other. They all have the same common goals. They're all older. We're all family members. We all have a son. We all have kids. So we all have to make the same sacrifices when we go out. But it started off, what I learned was it can either work or not work. And sometimes you have to be like a laser beam and be focused and just do everything yourself at first, and then try to grow it into a democracy if you can.